the October 18th St. John Sanitary District meeting to order. We'll stand with pledge. Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kim Kroll,
Here.
Rich Setlek,
Here.
Ken Gambala,
Here.
Patricia Simstermirchek is absent, Robert Kometz,
Present.
Wayne Pondinas,
Present.
and Joe Wizawati is here but away from the microphone at the moment.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 4, approval of the minutes. We have the January 7th, 2021 joint study session. I was not aware that those minutes were not approved. Nonetheless, are there any questions on those minutes?
I recall, no,
No?
almost a year.
You remember every
At
detail?
my age, a year is a long time.
Well, if there's no questions, I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the January 7th, 2021 joint study session minutes.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Move on to the September 20th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Are there any questions on those? Comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of those minutes.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Approved.
abstain. I wasn't there.
3 ayes and 1 abstain. Those are approved. And we have the October 3rd, 2022 special meeting minutes. Any questions, comments? Then I will entertain a motion for the approval of the October 3rd, 2022 special meeting minutes.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
3 ayes and 1 abstain. Those are approved as well. Move on to number 5, new business.
It's a shame to me, all these things.
New business.
I don't know if you call it new business. This thing from Beth this afternoon about make sure that we'd like Tilly or Baker Tilly to assist with the Standard & Poor's email, some advice. That was yeah, this afternoon, just before 3.
I did not see that one come through. At 3 o'clock?
2:53 is what I have it.
Did you see that one, Kim?
Yes.
Oh, I see it right here. I'd like to make sure you would like Baker Tilly to assist with this S&P email.
You know, it's a little easier. I printed this thing out. You can give it back. But
Well, they are our financial consultant. It would-
yeah, I think it was just kind of like a clearance thing to talk with them.
Okay,
And S&P sent, or it was included from Baker Tilly about the questions. But they're analysts. I mean, they kind of a formal thing.
yeah, it looks like all of the questions on it, yeah. Baker Tilly would be suited to answer those.
Right. And to me, it just seemed like just, I think Beth was just informing us that that will be occurring and giving us a bit of like this oversight.
Okay. Yeah, so do we need a motion to,
I really don't know.
Joe, do you know, are we looking for the request was, I just want to make sure you would like Baker Tilly to assist with this S&P email.
I think she's just looking for direction. I don't think she's looking for necessarily
I
a
don't
motion.
think we'd need a motion, yeah. I think,
I mean, they're already the financial advisors to the sanitary district. So
Correct,
if
yeah.
that's what, if you want to respond back, to let her know that Baker Tilly is, that's fine. There's no problem.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'll respond back to
Okay.
Beth, letting her know that, yeah.
I think that's what she's
financial
looking for.
consultant. Okay. Okay, old business. No old business?
SCADA system, there's 4 to 5 lift stations on the SCADA system now. They're almost halfway.
Oh, very good.
Are they all working?
I think so.
All right, reports and correspondence. Any project updates? And you just gave us the,
That's it.
what about Route 41?
About what? What'd you say?
Route 41.
Oh, that,
Looks like I
that's,
saw
yeah,
the,
that's part of sanitary too. That's done. They got the paint down and they're getting ready to paint it again, and it'll all be done.
That's great.
And all God's people said amen.
Did you say the sanitary board will be involved with 93rd also? Is there any sort of work?
I would think so, because I think they're gonna run a sanitary line from Patterson to Wall Street, or there's something, or go through the parking lot for Walgreens.
I don't know if they need to do that now, because after talking to Denny, he said that as far as sanitary, he didn't think there was much that they needed to
Well-
get done, if any. So.
And I think you might have to talk to Haas Engineering and Ken Kraus,
Yeah.
'cause that was brought up, because lift station 9 feeds down from 85th and down Patterson, and there were some problems with that, and a manhole and stuff, so they
Yeah.
were thinking about that could work, but I think that
I
might
know
have to
we
be,
did talk about that in a couple meetings that we had with First Group and their team, so when I'm,
let's just make sure if we're gonna
Yeah.
dig up that road,
because there's no
we
sense
take
in,
care of that, and
there's no sense in digging it up, and we're not, if we have to do
right,
something.
if
you
we
might
can
as
get
well.
some benefit out of doing something, let's do it.
I agree.
That's why I brought it up.
Right.
So this board can have a heads up for
And
spring.
that was talked about, a couple years ago. And then it got stagnant. But yeah, I think, we need to get everybody on board and ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it has to get done, that's fine. Then we can allow for it,
Yeah.
plan for it.
Where in the process, calendar-wise, is all this stuff? You're talking about 93rd.
I think that's still in the planning stage. I think,
Well,
I think some of it's been engineered already.
They're doing the engineering right now. We're finalizing right-of-way acquisition with the church. And then we're going to be working on utility conflicts, getting those relocated. That's a process. So we're probably looking sometime in 2023 to get that started and put out for bid. The major expense, from what I understand, is the water utility and then getting that. I mean, that's like, it was 1.1 million or something like that. So it was quite a significant amount. So
Right,
that's something we'll talk about at the meeting next week, Wayne, is that,
yeah.
and how we're going to prioritize that. One of the other issues that came up on this Acorn project was sanitary, and how we could possibly get rid of one of the lift stations and get some sanitary improvements done on that as well. So that's something that we need to take a look at.
Can you define Acorn?
Acorn-
Other than when I came in and saw it on there, I
Absolutely.
referred, that's
That was,
a thing
remember,
from
I
an
don't know
old
if you
tree.
were here for our last meeting when we had the
I'll
room
give you the
full here.
map. It'll be easier. We kind of try to
Oh, when all those
explain
people
it.
were here?
But we're having numerous water main breaks in here. And the bottom line is we got to replace the whole subdivision. It just doesn't make sense to patch it. And right now, that's what we're doing, is patching it. So the water district just decided we're going to have to just push this on the top of the list because of all the water main breaks and replace all the water mains. So what we're bringing up here is that there might be some sanitary work also.
So they're already finishing up the topography on this, and one of the thoughts is to eliminate one of the lift stations over there, by doing that. So it may make sense to do that. Obviously, we'll let you know what develops on that. One of the cost, just a cost estimate that was thrown out there was like $399 for the sanitary work that would need to be completed on this project. So I'll keep you posted on where we're going with that.
What's causing all the breaks?
The old ductile
It's just
iron.
old age.
Yeah, and there's some soil problems, they tell me in there. You get some catalytic action going on with that old ductile iron. My subdivision's right over, one block over, same situation. Constant water main breaks. All those were put in the 70s. And they're just, they're not holding up anymore.
Oh, okay.
When you say removing a lift station, so, does that mean another someplace else, or will that
No, it would
flow
be-
go someplace else?
I
or-
think if I understand it right, there's only about 20 houses that feed to that lift station. So it'd be gravity fed, and they would go across, there's the ditch, but I don't know if that's Bull Run ditch, but there's a ditch there. And then that separates Rosewood from Acorns. So it would go there, and it'd be gravity fed there, and then it would go off, it would go down White Oak, most likely, and then over to White Oak and 93rd, and then it would go back up to 41. So you're eliminating that lift station, which is great. That's less maintenance to work on.
Okay, so then it'd basically be converting this all to gravity, is what you're saying?
Right, yes.
Okay,
Which we would save in the long run.
you would think. I would assume that lift station is old, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 pumps there. But yeah, those pumps, if you had to work on them, would be expensive, so. And the pumps that we pull out of there might be able to be used in another lift station. I'm not sure, but it's a good thought.
One less NIPSCO bill.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jason.
It'd be nice to factor in that savings into this process,
Yeah.
that it's an estimate and everything else, but if you're not gonna have that lift station, you're gonna be saving something. You're saving on utilities and maintenance and that sort of thing. I don't know what it's historically costing or anything else, but whether you use what's there someplace else, that's fine, but there will be a savings, no doubt.
Which lift station is it?
6. There's not even a building there. It's just a pole, and then everything's mounted on some framework, and that's it, and 2 wet wells.
Yeah, that one's just the least usage too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only maybe 20 houses on there.
That's all right. I'll take the savings, but I'm just saying,
Is there a
to me, in my mind, that offsets the cost a bit, that, future savings.
the generator?
No. If something goes up, we got the portable generator, and you can plug it in. We've done that before. Oh, you know what? I think there is a generator.
I can't remember seeing one there. I don't know. I guess there is.
There's bushes, yeah.
I know I've been there. I've been back there a few times, and I still haven't.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing the generator though.
No, there is no generator.
The road's really bad though.
And is there a timeline on this thing, other than you moved it up to the top of the list, but in terms of,
We do
calendar.
have. There is actually a timeline for the water main project, which this could run concurrent with that.
I just look ahead to see about when things in
And this is in
consideration.
reference to the water project, but
Yeah.
obviously the sanitary
Actually,
would
work's
run.
not gonna be done towards the fall, the beginning or end of summer.
Ah, okay.
Well, if they decide to do it, then they will do it all while they're tearing up everything.
Right.
The water main is on that side of the lift station, if I remember right, because we fixed it once.
Yeah, they're all running on the same side
Right.
if you look at the map.
So I'm just looking at things, looking forward, and when the press comes about, doing it and making sure all the ducks are in order in terms of paying for it and everything else.
That's a bigger thing, I think, is how we're gonna finance the projects that we're looking at doing. And that's part of the discussion we're gonna have next week with respect to the water bond money and prioritizing those
So that's-
projects.
One of my things is coming in here And I get kinda nasty when somebody dumps on, oh yeah, you gotta come up with $3 million.
Well,
You know, it's 5 PM. Yeah, can you decide on that by 5:15?
State's
it's-
doing that to us, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, on Parish
really
Avenue,
got
you gotta
going.
move your water main, you gotta move your sewer main, so yeah.
But, you know, on that, and then, you know, that's kinda like what happened on 41. Hurry up, do this, we gotta have it, it's a rush. 3 years later, we think they're almost done.
It's this close.
And, I mean, a lot of people died in that time, it had no benefit.
You know, we make a plan, and we were gonna do 85th Street, and now we don't have money for it because it's going down on 41, and we gotta switch it
Well,
over
there's
to
some, yeah,
Acorn.
but I mean, those, all that's
That's-
all part of the process. I mean, it's kinda like, you know, buying a house, buying a new car, that sort of thing, how you gonna handle it, and what kind of car, you know? That's all, I'm just looking forward, it makes things a lot easier to take, and allows for more logical analysis and back and forth and talking, especially when talking with a group. And not relying on Wayne's phone.
That was a dig.
Yeah, here's a little one. I had to get something in. I've been pretty nice to him lately.
Okay.
Wayne's got a new phone now, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's the phone's problem.
All right, anything else under updates?
No, that's all I have.
All right, so we'll move on to payment of the bills. Sanitary District Docket. Looking for, any questions on the docket first? If not, I'm looking for a motion to approve the sanitary district dockets in the amount of $73,778.13.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. We'll move on to the wastewater docket. And one question I had, I'm looking at, there's a invoice from Westland and Bennett PC for $1,040. I have a concern because I have a September 29th email from David Westland. I'll read the first paragraph to you. Dear Mr. Kometz, thank you for your email. As you know, I represent the town of St. John through the town council. I have not been retained to represent the sanitary board or the water board. As a result, I cannot issue a formal legal opinion on behalf of these boards. However, I did convey your request to Mr. Swets, and he requested that I respond to your inquiry. He has not been retained to represent us, so why are we getting a legal bill from him, is my question.
If I'm not mistaken, this was with respect to one of the residents who was looking for a sewer connection. They came before the board about that, and I think that's what that was about.
So in other words, lack of an attorney, somebody had to make the legal opinion.
Okay, I did get a copy of that invoice from Beth, who has been very helpful in furnishing copies of invoices. Is that involve Tim Kuiper? Is that what that was for?
That could have been on Christopher Jacobson.
That was water, wasn't it?
Was
This was August 1st. It was all for August 1st through the 15th, receipt and review of email from Attorney Kuiper, email to
Well, that's the one
client,
on the corner.
telephone conference with Kuiper,
Yeah.
preparation for and to attend the meeting with the client. BLB lawsuit. That was the matter.
Yeah, that's the matter. No customer complaint or anything,
no.
the BLB lawsuit.
So this was just ongoing.
I don't know.
I know he has worked with the BLB stuff in the past.
Yeah,
when
we've
we
been
had
billed
to
for it
sign
too.
that agreement.
Their attorney,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
But I was not aware of any work being done in August on our behalf.
At this point, I'm not sure how any of that relates to sanitary anyway. I don't really know what the,
Well, if you prefer to pull it off the docket, you know,
Can we pull
That's-
it off until we get more clarification? on
Absolutely,
how it
yeah.
Relates to the sanitary district?
yeah. And I would amend the amount on the docket for the motion as well.
Okay. So, any other questions with anything else on here?
No, I think Beth sent the updated docket.
Okay, so taking the 1,040 off, I'm looking for a motion to approve the payment of 225,351.72.
I
I don't think that's,
think it'd be 227,
227, 155.90.
Yeah.
Didn't we have an amended for 226?
Correct. The amended was $226,391.72.
yeah, she amended the wastewater this afternoon. Beth did.
That's right. I'm looking at my packet, and
Yeah, I'm
she
looking
did
at the packet,
update,
too.
she did
Okay.
update the book, so the
See,
book is
I
correct.
had the old one too, the
I know,
228.
yeah,
Yeah.
the book's correct.
Okay. So 225,351.72.
Yeah, because I think there was a mathematical switcheroo.
Yeah, the payloader repair and the backhoe
Yeah.
repair came off.
So moved.
Can I
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Here's a minor thing. Do we ever get involved with this Ferguson Water Works and approving those things? It's just the amounts of money. And based on our own internal procedures about approvals and stuff over $4,000 and all this stuff ahead of time. I mean, it's not whether there's a need or anything, but looking at it, you're just showing here, and we're just go ahead with the process.
For the meter approvals. Well, those would have to be over 5,000, so they're approved by, Joe, do you approve those when they come to?
On which, I'm sorry?
The
Ferguson meters, water
meters?
works.
If they're under the $4,000 threshold, otherwise there's an RTP that's presented for the RTPs.
State Board of Accounts, isn't it?
No,
just
it's just
internal
a matter of
policy.
seeing it, but we never see it.
If there's
before.
anything over 4,000.
And it's easy now, somebody billed us and we've got to pay it.
That's right, you changed it a couple of times.
We have a choice.
Do you prefer to see the RTPs?
It'd be nice if somebody, I mean, we ask about, we hear all this stuff about construction and moving of this and moving of that, and the 41 stuff, and the SCADA project, and these other things, it just goes through.
I'll reach out to the clerk and ask her if she can.
Yeah, there's a matter of, and everything in conformity with what our town ordinances say regarding purchases.
Can I get can I get the dollar amount on the docket, the corrected amount, just so I can update the book?
Mm.
Or I don't know if she updated the book in there, I'm pretty sure she did,
She said she did.
yeah. But I gotta update the amount, which was like
With-
225.
Without the Westland bill?
Yeah, and that's for wastewater, just to clarify.
Yes.
Correct.
So it'd be like 225,
225,351.72.
70, thank you.
Then who keeps the inventory on those meters?
Public Works.
Public Works hasn't.
So they owe us, we're on a program to change out stuff. And we got more, they're gonna send us 800 registers, I think pretty soon, they're gonna ship us. But we've already got close to 600 harvested already to send back, that are probably already down there. So that was a deal that we brokered to save money. And we ordered them up front, knowing that we're gonna change them. So by doing that, and by ordering 600 meters, we saved the town $57,000. So, and it's not, like you go to the grocery store now and try and buy product, it's not on the shelf. So, and you don't know in the meter world, it's just up in the air. You don't know what you're gonna get, how you're gonna get it.
I think it would be nice, though, if we knew about that arrangement, that you're set up to buy 800 meters or 1,000 meters or 5,000 meters ahead of time, and that you've locked things in. Because I look at that arrangement, I don't know if the town is locked in to having to buy those, or that is just a quote for that amount over some period of time with delivery schedules to follow.
Well, delivery's unknown. You're in a queue, so it's hard to put this all together, Rich. There's a
But it's
brass
not
shortage.
impossible. You're saying, though, that there's a savings. You managed to say that. That was done. And that's based on how many? And how long is this good for? Is it good for 5 years? How long can they put off, if you're getting 800, can they put it off saying, well, we don't have any, you don't have any, and you get the last ones 5 years from now? There has to be something more. They're called Ts and Cs, terms and conditions about getting into this, where it was favorable. And where's the favorability and where are the ins and outs? I mean, if there's things about their production that are beyond their control, that can be written in there as well. I mean, just stuff, there's a lot of money, 800 of them. I don't know how many are on for this thing here.
I think there's
400.
72 and 72. So if it wasn't done, you'd be, instead of being paying 10,400, I think is on there, you'd be paying 15,000 for each 72.
But you're telling me, though, that you made an agreement, more or less, with them for 800. Correct?
Yeah, and it went to the town council on a request to purchase all of that.
We
So,
never heard anything about it. And now we're being asked to look at things. I mean, when you get it is immaterial, but if this is related to that arrangement, is there something wrong with letting us know, so when we see the bill, we can make that connection? That's what a lot of this is about.
and I think
We
we
sit
went
here, we
over
have no
that, but-
idea what the town council is approving or not approving.
Just an information thing, so we're aware of what we're approving on there and how many meters and what's the cost. That's all I think you're asking for is
Right, if you,
to know what.
if you get a credit
What we're
card statement
approving.
and it says, here's $2,000 for ABC movies, do you say, oh, okay, that's what we're being asked to do?
I mean, is this showing that we've basically made an agreement with Ferguson for $75 a register, and then?
Yeah,
bill
there's
us
a
as
price,
we
there's a
need?
price associated with it, yes.
I mean, we understand it's a deal, it's always, if you can, most of the time, if you buy in bulk, you're gonna save, so if the deal is there.
But you have to, it's like supply and demand. Rich says, why are we having so many meters on hand and we're not using them?
No, I didn't
But-
say that at all.
Not today, at another meeting.
Okay.
And then you're complaining about that. So you try and not have that much on stock. Now you got a shortage. We weren't told,
Do you think that's different than any place else that has limited space and makes a purchase arrangement for a year to get their stuff from XYZ at X price? It happens all the time. It is not that unique.
it's different now.
Supply and demand is different, and the wait times, yes.
To try and get some of the parts that we have now, we called across the country, and we had to pick some from here.
Is
We could
anybody
barely
any
get it.
different? Is anybody else have that problem?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So
It's
they're
across
dealing
the
with it, aren't
country.
they? It's not a big deal. You can let people know. That's what we're saying. You're making this arrangement for X, if this was for 72, what does that come to? For $500,000? I don't know. How much is 800 of them? That's a significant amount of money that we're going to be seeing dribs and drabs as it comes in, but we have no idea the relationship of that. So I'm sitting here, is there somebody over in Public Works just, here, flip this off, flip this off, flip this off?
No.
We're saying no. But if this town is too big to go on, oh, no. You do things in writing, you have some evidence.
And the town council already passed it.
Okay, I'm saying, what did they pass? We never heard diddly squat about it.
They passed it at the meeting. To order the registers, to order the meters.
Okay, you're the liaison. You didn't tell us about it until now. We saw nothing about the agreement.
So, okay, we'll talk to you every
So why
time.
isn't
I'll
this-
bring you over there tomorrow if you want, and I'll show you what we're doing.
I don't want to see what you're doing. I want some evidence of what you've done, about what this agreement is. I don't know why that's so difficult. Evidence that you made some agreement with somebody, so I can look at that and see and make reference to it later on when something else is coming in.
So could you just get a copy of the agreement,
All right, thank
the
you.
original agreement? Because it's, I know what you were saying. We've discussed this before. We've seen Ferguson come up, whereas we have an allotment that we didn't pre-purchase. We made the agreement to purchase over time, right? 800 of them.
Yeah, and we have so much time to get them back.
So, and we've got, it looks like there's $75 a register here from the 54.
Oh, they're more than that, Rob.
So the 5,400 for 72. As we need them, they're gonna bill them and ship them, right?
It depends on if they get the part. Everything comes from Israel. There's chips involved. There's the glass manufacturers for the register. There's everything involved in, the foundries for making them, for making the brass. It's all up in the air.
The thing is they committed to a price knowing that the prices are going to increase. So,
Right.
and we need them. It's something
So,
that we
so
have to
since the
have.
time that they
got the
Okay, but we
benefit
don't know if
had
we're going to get them.
agreement, the price went up 3 times. Okay.
So then you didn't make an agreement to get them for a fixed price, if the prices are going up. If
We're
the prices keep
locked
on-
in at a price, Rich.
But you just said the prices keep on going up.
I said they increased 3 times since that was done.
Yeah, he's saying if we bought them now, as you buy them off the shelf,
You get
you're going to keep
market
paying
price.
more. But they
But
got
we're
them ahead
not
of
paying
it.
more. Is that what you're saying?
Right, you're not paying the increase.
Well, then what?
We're
Yeah,
locked in.
they
You're
bought
saying
the
we've got 3
quantity.
increases.
'cause they got a good
We didn't
price.
get them. We're still paying the price, right? The old price. I'm not arguing about that.
quantity is
Just the
800.
The simple agreement. I don't know why that is such a big deal. If it was such a great thing and it saves so much money, why not share that information with the ones who are approving the payment? I mean, it's simple information and communication back and forth. Apparently, it doesn't want to go to us to give us any approval ahead of time. Other things do. I cannot figure out the rhyme and the reason for any of it. About what comes to us, what doesn't. And what we see, what we don't. But we do get these dockets that say, we have to pay this and you have to agree to it. And I asked something about, well, what's the arrangement between this one? There's a lot of money going to them. And it keeps on, well, it's not just this. We made an agreement for 800. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. 800, you're talking about the same price as that sucker truck that was here, or more.
No,
How much is, what's the price you pay each times 800?
I'll tell you after the meeting.
No. Why can't it just be said here? I mean, you're saying it's such a great price. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's a secret. And you have an expense on here.
Forward that to us, Wayne.
I mean, these are public expenditures. I don't see why the arrangement has to be a secret. And you have to tell me privately. Why can't I just see it when it's done or afterwards? Hey, they approved this, here's the agreement. What's the big deal? We do it with an agreement with Sherrville for the sanitary stuff. Big agreement. We saw that. Here it is. Look at it, do whatever. That goes on. We got nothing. That was another issue. We didn't get it about where the increase was coming from. Got no information about that, except when we got an invoice from Cherville saying, here's your increased price. And then somebody's saying, well, what are you people doing? I said, I don't know, we don't hear anything. Somebody says, well, the council did it. Was the council have any obligation to tell anybody else? To tell the other people around about, you'll be getting these, or will be getting these, over X period of time? I mean, if what you say is true, then the agreement is fine. I'm not arguing about the cost of it. If other people are paying more, good. You did good. So what's the matter with just demonstrating what that agreement was? I'm assuming it was in writing. Otherwise, I don't know how it's enforceable. But
So just send us the agreement and then what the current pricing is so we can see the difference.
All right.
So we have a motion on the floor and we have a second for the approval of the payment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Seeing that there's no public comment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.